Post once a week. That's the advice. You've heard it 100 times, and you already know it's not going to happen. Not with 30 hours of client meetings, not with compliance paperwork, and not with a family that needs you home by 6. So here's the question nobody asks. What if weekly recording is the wrong model entirely? What if financial advisors with the most successful YouTube channels aren't recording every week and never were? Here's exactly how those advisors produce a full quarter of content in a single focused session, and why the time math makes weekly recording a losing strategy altogether. Working with advisory firms from solo practices to those managing over $10 billion in assets, I've watched the advisors who stick with weekly recording burn out and quit. The ones who batch, they're still publishing. Now I know what you're thinking. I can barely find time to record one video. You want me to record 13 in a day? I hear you, okay? That sounds like a lot. But here's the thing. The problem with recording one video per week has nothing to do with the recording. It's everything around the recording that kills the strategy. Think about what a single weekly recording session actually involves. You pull yourself out of client work, mentally shift into content creator mode, review your outline, set up equipment, record, break it all down, and return to your real job. That's 2 to 3 hours per video when you account for preparation, recording, and overhead. Multiply that by 52 weeks, you're looking at 100 to 150 hours per year in fragmented time blocks that never feel productive. Now consider the batch alternative, 4 focused half days per year. You prepare all your scripts in advance and compliance reviews them as a batch. You set up the equipment once, record for 4 to 6 hours, break down once, and go back to running your practice, knowing your channel is fed for 3 months. The total time investment? Roughly 32 to 48 hours annually when you include pre-production and compliance review. Listen, that's a 60 to 70% time reduction for the same output. According to Kitsy's research, financial advisors work on average 53 hours per week across all business activities. That's not a schedule with room for 52 separate creative sessions, but 4 production days per year? That fits, even during your busiest quarter. And here's the real cost of the weekly approach. Every week you spend 2 to 3 hours recording a single video, you're choosing the system most likely to make you quit before the compound effect ever kicks in. The advisors who built compounding YouTube channels didn't have more time. They had a system that required less of it. Let me show you what that system looks like in practice. James Knoll at Root Financial built a $1.3 billion practice with a production workflow that's almost embarrassingly lean. According to the Kitsy's Financial Advisor Success Podcast 445, he records on Tuesdays. A Serbian-based editor handles post-production for approximately $20,000 annually. Videos release on Saturdays. That's it. That's the system. It works because it's systematic, not because Knoll has more hours in the day than you do. Oak Harvest Financial Group took the same principle and scaled it. Their 5-person marketing team maintains consistent weekly publishing, not because Troy Sharp records every Friday, but because the production system creates content in advance and releases it on a predictable schedule. According to the Kitsy's Financial Advisor Success Podcast, episode 383, the firm grew from $85 million to $940.8 million in AUM, and that's confirmed by their SEC Form ADV from April 2025. YouTube generates approximately 1,000 first appointments annually, with 65 to 70% of all business originating from video. Listen, quick disclosure, these are real case studies from publicly documented sources, but results vary significantly based on implementation and consistency. This is educational content. Always consult with your compliance team before implementing marketing strategies. Neither of those firms built their content libraries by scrambling to record one video every week. They built systems, and the system starts with batch recording. So let me walk you through the full batch recording blueprint, before, during, and after. 2 weeks before your recording day, this is the pre-production sprint, and this is where batch recording either succeeds brilliantly or fails completely. Start with topic selection, 10 to 13 topics covering a full quarter's worth of content. Pull from 3 places: client questions you've answered repeatedly, seasonal planning triggers for the upcoming quarter, and current market conditions worth addressing. Create a 3 to 5 bullet point outline for each topic, not a full script, unless that's what your compliance department requires, word for word pre-approval. If they do, write the scripts. Getting them approved in advance means fewer surprises on recording day. Then submit all 10 to 13 outlines to compliance simultaneously, a single package, all at once. And here's what most advisors don't expect. I'll come back to this in a minute because the compliance advantage deserves its own section. But for now, just know that batch submission changes the entire compliance dynamic in your favor. According to the Wistia 2025 State of Video Report, 71% of companies now create videos in-house. In-house production wins because it's faster, cheaper, and more authentic. But without a system, in-house becomes in-house chaos. The pre-production sprint is the system. Recording day, the 4 to 6 hour session. Block a half day, morning, when your energy is highest. Set up your equipment once, then record. Now, here's the part most first-time batch recorders underestimate. Energy management. Record your most complex data-heavy topics first. Market analysis, tax strategy breakdowns, technical planning concepts. Those go in slots 1 through 4. When your brain is sharpest and your delivery is tightest. Save the conversational, personality-driven content for the back half. FAQ videos, myth-busting episodes, topics where you can be looser and more relaxed. By video 7 or 8, you're warmed up. You're comfortable. The conversational stuff flows naturally when you're not trying to explain RMD calculations. Take a genuine 15-minute break every 3 to 4 videos. Not a 2-minute water break where you check your email. An actual reset. Step away. Walk outside. Clear your head. And here's a detail that sounds small but matters more than you think. Wear the same thing every time you record. Same outfit, same background, same setup, same everything. That's not laziness. That's branding. Consistent visual identity builds recognition and communicates professionalism. Your viewers aren't tracking your wardrobe. They're evaluating your expertise. And fewer decisions on recording day means more energy for the content that actually matters. Most advisors produce around 8 videos in their first batch session. That's completely fine. By the 3rd or 4th batch, you'll hit 12 or 13 videos comfortably. The variable isn't stamina, it's preparation. An advisor with fully outlined compliance-approved topics records faster than one who walks in with vague idea of what each video should cover. Now, I put a lot of research into these videos, but after years of doing this work, I've learned that I'm still not going to get everything right at all times. If you spot an error, especially anything compliance-related, call me out in the comments. I'll address it in a pinned comment below. And if this kind of content is useful for you, subscribe. We publish a new video every week specifically for financial professionals building YouTube channels. Now, here's the part that I teased earlier. And honestly, this might be the most important section of this entire video, so congratulations for sticking around this long. The compliance advantage nobody talks about. Let's think about how most advisors interact with compliance when it comes to YouTube. Get inspired on Tuesday, write a script, submit to compliance, wait 3 to 7 business days, receive the revision requests, revise, resubmit, wait again, finally get approval on a Thursday, your calendar is packed, Friday, push recording to Monday, lose momentum entirely, publish 2 weeks late. Yeah. Now multiply that by 52. You've built a system that converts creative energy into bureaucratic friction at an industrial scale. Batch compliance review eliminates this cycle entirely. Here's what it looks like. You submit 10 to 13 scripts or outlines as a single package. Include a cover memo explaining the quarter's content strategy. Your compliance officer blocks dedicated review time, not stolen minutes between other tasks. An actual calendar block. They review the entire package for consistency, flag systemic issues once rather than repeating the same feedback 13 separate times, and return a consolidated set of revisions. You make all the revisions in a single editing session. Compliance gives final approval for the full quarter. Done. The practical first batch submission looks like this. A cover document listing each video's topic, target audience, key claims, and source citations. Your standard disclosure language template, and a note on which videos are evergreen versus timeline. So compliance understands the publication timeline. Submit during a period when compliance is less overwhelmed, typically mid-quarter for the following quarter's content. Oak Harvest Financial Group formalized this approach through their Chief Compliance Officer's oversight, with written compliance policies governing their content strategy. According to the Kitsy's podcast episode 383 and their SEC Form ADV, their content strategy positions videos as educational rather than solicitation. a positioning that makes compliance review straightforward rather than adversarial. And here's the insight that ties this all together. The content format that compliance departments prefer, educational, how-to, is also the format viewers actually engage with most. Imagine that. According to the Wistia 2025 State of Video Report, educational and how-to videos hold the highest engagement rates across all video lengths. So the content that's easiest to get approved is also the content that performs best on YouTube. That's not a coincidence. That's a structural advantage. In my experience, advisors who implement batch compliance submission often see turnaround times drop from 5 to 7 business days per video down to maybe 2 or 3 business days for the entire batch. That's the difference between a YouTube strategy that publishes consistently and one that publishes whenever compliance gets back to me. Now, after recording day, the post-production pipeline. This part is simple. Hand the raw files to an editor. Your job ends when the recording stops. Root Financial spends approximately $20,000 annually for a single editor handling graphics, text overlays, and thumbnails, according to the Kitson's podcast episode 445. For most advisors starting out, freelance editing typically runs $150 to $500 per video, depending on the complexity. Here's the math that makes delegation obvious. If your billing rate is $200 to $400 per hour and editing takes 2 to 3 hours per video, paying someone $250 is probably the most profitable decision you'll make all quarter. Your time is worth more behind a desk with clients than behind a screen dragging clips around in an editing timeline. Now, there's a question I get constantly. What happens between batch days? What if something timely comes up? Okay, fair question. Batch recording covers your evergreen foundation, roughly 80% of your content. Roth conversion strategies, estate planning fundamentals, retirement income frameworks, portfolio rebalancing principles. These topics work whether you publish them in April or August. For truly timely content, a market event, a major legislative change, something your clients are calling you about, you record a single responsive video outside of your batch schedule. 1 reactive video per month is manageable. 52 reactive videos per year is not. The sustainable rhythm looks like this. 1 batch recording day per quarter, 10 to 13 evergreen videos, plus 1 timely video per month as warranted. That gives you consistent weekly publishing without consistent weekly stress. And here's the thing, you'll actually get better at this faster than you think. According to publicly available data, Josh Scanlon at Heritage Wealth Planning has published 7,242 videos on one of his channels. He didn't build that library through weekly inspiration. He built it through systematic, repeatable production sessions. Now, let me be honest about something. Your first batch recording day won't be perfect. Your first video will feel stiff. Your 8th will feel natural. Your 12th might sound tired. That's normal. Everyone's 12th video sounds a bit flat the first time that they batch record. By your 3rd batch session, you'll be laughing at this concern. But here's what matters. A tired video that gets published beats a perfect video that never gets recorded. Your first batch will probably produce 8 videos, not 13. And that's 8 more videos than you'd have from 8 separate weeks of trying to find time to record 1. The advisors who built real YouTube momentum didn't start with perfect systems. They started with a calendar block, a list of topics, and the willingness to be imperfect for 1 morning. That's the entire barrier to entry. So if you're thinking, I'll try this when things slow down, you already know what I'm going to say. Things don't slow down. The calendar is designed to stay full. The advisors who built billion-dollar practices from YouTube didn't wait for a quiet quarter. They built systems that worked inside busy ones. 4 batch recording days per year, 32 to 48 hours total, 52 videos. That's the math. And the math works if you block the first session before you finish this video. Now, if you're ready to build a complete YouTube system around your batch recording days, I wrote a free book called Mastering YouTube Marketing for Financial Services. It's the full framework, from defining who you're creating content for, to building the production systems, to turning viewers into qualified leads while staying compliant. Just the playbook. The link is below in the description. So now you have the batch system, 4 recording days, a full year of content. But here's the question that actually determines whether this investment pays off. What does it cost to acquire a client through YouTube compared to every other marketing channel you're already using? The dinner seminars, the LinkedIn posts, the networking events, the marketing consultant you hired and then fired. Is the time you're putting into batch recording sessions actually worth more than all of that? Well, in this video right here, I break down the exact cost per client math with real numbers from real advisor channels. It'll either confirm that batch recording is worth every minute or save you from wasting time. Watch it now.